Hello, hi everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Michael from UOB FinTech Ecosystem and Innovation Team, your moderator for today's session. So in the session today, we have two great gentlemen. Hizam. Hey, hi Hizam, how are you?
Hi Michael, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. And we also have Silmyi. Hi Silmyi.
Hi Michael. Sembang kencang ah.
Sembang kencang. Let's keep it casual. Yeah. So yeah, good to have you both. And I know that there's no need of lengthy introduction. Hizam is a great guy that I know many years ago. I always inspired by his background, and I know that now Hizam, you will continue to inspire me for many years to come. Yeah, Hizam has been in the industry for many years, working with multinational large corporations such as Intel, Microsoft, and he has also spent a vast number of years with government agency MDEC, championing the FinTech, the Islamic digital economy, ecosystem developments, and the industry development pillars. Hizam is currently a Director of Government and Regulatory Affairs at Green Packet. So hi Hizam, great profile, and it has been a while since we catch up.
Thank you, Michael, and you inspire me too.
and I'm glad to know that you are also a contributing board members in MIMOS, My Angkasa Digital Services Advisory Council of Yayasan Peneraju. So good to have you here today.
Thank you.
As for Silmyi, yeah, I mean, you are from Brangit. You are the one that like putting this whole thing together, right?
Yeah,
and
very short. No need long.
And I know that you have been doing so much for the ecosystem, and being a bank, I mean, we have also like worked with you for the benefit of our SMEs. So without maybe further ado, let's get started. Our topic here today is what's the future of marketing tech and how it will impact the Malaysian businesses. So I think since the pandemic, I mean, the pandemic have really pushed all industries towards digital acceleration process. And I think it's safe to assume that marketers everywhere have increased adopting, all this like new technology to meet the demand in the post-pandemic world, which we are already in it right now. So perhaps maybe the first question, right, is on, I mean, there's always two coins of the side. One is the demand and also the provider, which is the MarTech companies. Yeah. Maybe the first question is to Hizam on, a lot of SMEs today face obstacles in adopting digital technology, despite a lot of government effort and including the private sector as well to help them. So for SME that keen to tap into the digital technology, but a lot of them have not done so yet. I mean, what are the barriers?
Given that the topic today is on MarTech, maybe I'll start with barriers in adopting marketing technology.
The word is also a barrier, isn't it? MarTech. Let's go with marketing tech.
Marketing tech, yeah. All right. SMEs are probably last adopters of technology. They are not as fast or as agile as compared to larger corporations who are able to tap onto the evolutions or revolutions of marketing, right? And partly because maybe perhaps lack of understanding and or also lack of capital availability in investing into MarTech. Yeah. I've started seeing some changes actually, and I think we have to give credits to the pandemic. I know it sounds a bit weird to give credits to the pandemic, but it has accelerated the adoptions of digital marketing, and it is not a choice anymore for SMEs to be using digital marketing, to be using MarTech tools, whether it is to reach to the right audiences or to do data analytics to analyze the customers that are coming to buy, so that they would then be able to make informed decision making and be able to operate their businesses in a more data-driven manner, right? That's one. And speaking about investing in MarTech, maybe another challenge, and I think it's worth for us to mention here, is capital availability. SMEs, especially during the pandemic, may not have the best solid, flying colors credit history. We would love to see, I would love to see actually SMEs being helped by the government. Although I have to say that the government have done quite a bit actually in providing supports, in providing all sorts of bantuans and initiatives given to the impacted SMEs. And from the regulatory and policy side as well, we started seeing upward trends, uptake of a new alternative form of funding, or a new alternative form of fundraising. We started seeing alternative mode of capital financing, such as equity crowdfunding, peer-to-peers are beginning to be used by a lot of technology companies, by SMEs. Yeah, we're very fortunate to see this positive regulatory change, and organizations and regulatories such as SC, for example, have started introducing new regulatory changes to allow SMEs to be able to use this alternative mode of capital financing, right? As I mentioned, ECF, P2P, would love to see more other alternatives such as maybe IEOs as well, to allow SMEs to be able to have access to capital availability, so that they would then be able to invest in MarTech solutions.
I think it's quite interesting to see that, and also for you to share this view. And I mean, the financial instruments, kind of like innovate or go through a kind of evolution to basically make it more convenient, and also to rate it to address based on the needs. And we have also seen all these like incentive and financial assistance that even made available by Bank Negara Malaysia, for example, the SME Automation Grant and Digitalization Facilities. I mean, in short, they call it the ADF. So I think that is also something that SMEs can leverage on it. But of course, it's in form of loan. But we also do have grant like the Business Accelerator Program by SME Corp, then the Smart Automation Grant by MIDEC, by MIDA, and also MDEC. Selangor have also launched one by CDEC, including, there's one Bantuan Kewangan Khas by Digital Penang. So I believe that, all these financial assistance will definitely help the SMEs to go digital and to embark into their digitalization journey. So perhaps maybe the next question is something that, Silmyi can address. I mean, with every passing months, right, there are more and more software solutions that is virtually anything that you can imagine. And MarTech itself, or marketing technology, offers a vast landscape of application that proliferating across the board. So given this impressive volume of option, can it be a good thing, or it can be very confusing for the SMEs though? I mean, I am confused sometimes. So what's your view on that?
First thing, I gotta commend both of you guys being so prepared with vast knowledge that you're bringing to this session today. Feeling a little bit of the pressure now. Okay. Yes, it is indeed a little bit confusing, a little bit scary, very intimidating for a lot of SMEs out there. In terms of what the heck is this? Apa tu marketing tech? Apa ni digital? Tak tahulah. But everybody has a freaking smartphone. The power is in their hands, and that's why when we first were inspired to have this kind of event at Turbocharge.Live, we knew that the gap had to be closed. And we knew that for them to be prepared for the future starts today. Our research showed that there are easily 8,000 to 10,000 marketing tech solutions from all over the world, and all kinds of categories. But for us, we try to, in a way, simplify it by categorizing them as per the conference today. As you will see that we have solutions for Unify, which is research, strategy, Amplify for promotion, and Quantify for analytics and insights. Is because a lot of the times, and when we talk about marketing, SMEs tend to be drawn to promotion, digital marketing, FB ads, etc. Nothing wrong with that, but you need more. You need to cover pretty much your entire marketing gambit of activities, so that it is holistic and thorough. And yes, it is indeed scary, but the future starts today. And they got to start, because if you want to make sure that your brand becomes legendary and it actually survives you yourself as an entrepreneur, it goes on to the next generation, you cannot not evolve, right? Everybody agrees, and that's pretty much been the theme of the whole pandemic: change or die. So marketing tech is just yet another thing that has to happen for you, and you have to make it happen. And in terms of how do you start, where do you start? I mean, this is where kita jaga kita lah. We all need to support each other. I think there's lots of incentives from the government But please don't just rely on government. Okay, dah masuk lecture mode. Okay, I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, I mean, talking about that, we also realized that, a lot of time SME embark into an initiative because of the grant.
Yeah.
And then there's no grant, which means that there's no digitalization happen. I think that also somehow is kind of a mindset that, we will really need to think through, because, if it's a business need, then it's a business need. I mean, no grant, you kind of like have to invest. So you cannot see all this investment, right, as a form of expenses, but it's rather than as an investment. And we know that there's a need for continual collaboration between government, businesses and industry to bring SMEs to the forefront of digitalization, and basically to help them to thrive in this digital economy. So to me personally, I feel that the ecosystem play is rather important. And in fact, the marketing techies will also need to do something about it. Perhaps not only on the solutioning, but to come in as a subject matter expert themselves.
Yep.
So maybe, Hiram, is a question to you. I mean, the word public-private partnership, or in short, they call it the PPP, right, has been a buzzword lately, especially for the past 2 years. So how do you see public-private partnership will allow SMEs, the ecosystem participant as per se, to form a pact for, better product development, market access, education, awareness? Yeah, how do you see public partnership play a role here?
I think the word public-private partnerships has, it has not been around for the last 2 years. It has been around for a very long time, actually, right? To look at it from the context of Malaysia's government, it probably started off during the privatization policy in early 1980s, yeah, and that was the time when Malaysia had this idea of having Malaysia to be incorporated, this policy towards increasing private sector's role in the country's economic development. Yeah, so I think that was a good start for us to reflect what PPP is all about, right? And the main objective of this policy in the 1980s has changed right now, is to sort of lessen the financial or administrative burden of the government, so that they would then be able to have the private sector financing the initiative, right? There's a body within MOF called UCAS that does this, right? But now, you're very right, actually. It worked in the past where all these PPP were done for big projects like highways, like LRT, MRT, ports, KLIA, those things were all done in a form, in the spirits of public-private partnerships. But putting into the context of now, right, where SMEs are becoming the backbone of Malaysia's economy, how would public-private partnerships be seen? It needs to be pivoted, right? It has pivoted to a certain extent, but we need to see more, because it is the smaller size companies, the SMEs, are the ones that are creating innovation, right? How can these smaller companies be able to leverage on public-private partnership better, right? I spoke about risk capital. That's key, right? And government, second one, apart from risk capital, is probably on regulatory. How the government can be more agile and flexible, allowing these startups, these SMEs, to be able to be mingling, to be able to be in the same platform with other innovators, with researchers, right? To be able to test their products or their services or their business models in a live real environment, right? Some efforts that are being done by the government right now through the likes of National Technology Innovation Sandbox, NTIS. I would want to see more SMEs participating, actually, because there's already a platform. I would love to see more corporates coming in as well to take part, so that they wouldn't be able to be co-existing and co-sandboxing together. The other thing that I have on top of my mind is maybe perhaps data sharing, right? And this is crucial, actually. And data, again, as I said, would then help us to make informed decisions. Many government agencies hold valuable data, right? Yes, you use your IC, you go and renew your license, and all those things are valuable data, but they may not always have the talent or resources to put this data to work, right? But in contrast, these SMEs may have the talent and resources necessary to innovate this data, right? But they may not have access to certain government resources. So if they were to be a platform of open data, giving everyone the opportunity to test and to be able to make informed data-driven decisions, right? So do not neglect, do not dismiss the SMEs. PPP is not just meant for larger companies. The SMEs are going to be the backbone of the economy, right? Give them that equal chance as well for PPP, as much as how we have been successful with PPP with the bigger, larger GLCs.
Yeah, Hizam, I totally agree with you. In fact, I think it's not only about corporations or SME benefit from this. And in fact, the tech companies at large will also, they will get the spill benefit because, for example, there's this initiative by Petronas called the Petronas Future Tech. And I think they have also kind of like welcome tech companies to come in to address their pain point. They call it the Corporate Innovation Program. And I think we have one of our local e-procurement platform or a B2B trading platform, Droppy, is now coming in to help them to digitalize the entire procurement process for the group. So I think this is one of the examples that, when the corporation open up the base or open up the access and, welcoming, having an open mind, a lot of magical things can happen.
Yeah. Well, a bit of hard selling actually. Green Packet has triple X. Yeah, right. It's an early stage platform for us to be funding, to be investing into early stage companies, as well as to be co-sandboxing and co-developing solutions together with these early stage startups.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the, the beauty part of ecosystem approach. Yeah, so maybe let's go back to on the marketing piece, right? Whereby the marketeers everywhere are increasingly adopting new technology to innovate in the field. And I think this is also has been backed by a survey conducted by Garnet CMO spend surveys on digital marketing. There's a staggering 72.2% of the total marketing budget online. So maybe something that I would like to ask Silmyi. My question is like, what is the future innovation is coming from the creative tech point of view? On the creative tech point of view, what is the future innovation? Yeah, for the ecosystem or for the community out there.
In terms of what we're seeing right now, thanks, Michael. In terms of what we're seeing right now, a lot of the things that we've been being shared on Turbocharge.Live today and the next couple of days is the here and now. We're already talking about visual recognition. We're already talking about AR, VR. We're already talking about AI, business intelligence, etc., tracking data, big data, whatever. All these are here and now. But if you want to project a little bit in terms of the future, I invite you guys to have a look at what your kids are doing. The Roblox, the Minecrafts, the Genshins, all this is the fascinating stuff that they are really involved in, and it's an immersive world. And the term metaverse has been thrown about to really indicate that if we're talking about marketing in the next 20 years, the consumers are going to be our kids now. And what they are growing up with is what is going to be used by marketers in the next 20 years. And this is where you can easily project. It's not difficult to imagine how the world is going to be totally different from what we're experiencing now. And identity is going to be fluid. All kinds of things that is maybe science fiction, but actually in 20 years is going to be the future. And for brands that, like I said earlier, if you want to be a brand for the long term, you got to evolve and you got to start thinking about it. How is your next generation of marketers going to be marketing to the next generation of consumers? And we are super excited about some of the things on offer today, but what is on offer for the next 10, 20 years is even more scary, to be honest.
I'm sure that, with the AR and the VR, personalized content, all this actually goes beyond functionality. And I think
this is a lot of sci-fi, I say, Michael. You watch the Star Wars, the Star Treks, the Minority Reports, you can see the future. Things on Minority Report 15 years ago, right, is now here, right? That personalized screens and all that kind of stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, these are all the possibility brought by new technology, or it's by the way of using a tech. Yeah, so I think it's really, gamification, for example, have like really changing the whole digital experience and to an extent increase of the level of the engagement. So I think we have about left. is there anything that, maybe for Hizam and Silmyi, anything that you would like to add on? I mean, in regards to your view and your perspective for the SMEs or for the techies?
Well, maybe a word of advice for the SMEs: do not be afraid to be adopting technology. With the current limitations and restrictions right now, right? For you to be reaching out to your customers, the only way for you to do it well or for you to do it better is to go online, right? To be able to adopt marketing technology in helping you to be not only reaching the right audiences or new customers or retaining your existing customers, but also at the same time to be able to assess and to make sure that your marketing approaches are up to certain standards and quality with data that you've collected in making informed decisions. So do not be afraid, because in fact, I think marketeers or SMEs don't have much of a choice right now but to be adopting technology in the future or now.
I'm gonna jump in and add, not only don't be afraid, but be curious and be inspired. Let's not take this, terpaksa, or now it's time, no choice, but actually go for it, embrace it. This is where marketing tech is here, is evolving, is happening, is dynamic. And for you, imagine the best possible scenario for your brand and go for it. Be legendary.
Okay, thank you.
That's my hard sell.
Yeah, thanks, Hizam. Thanks, Silmyi, for your input, and I'm sure that the participant today will get to hear your view and also probably to do something about it. And I think to sum it all, we are aware and we know that the public sector and the private sector need to come together, industries as well, as a form of renewing the push to assist SMEs to go digital. And it's also, I mean, for the SMEs out there, it's about integrating the digital element, digital components into their business ecosystem for them to thrive for them to thrive in the digital economy. So thank you so much for your time. It's great to have you both today. I'm really to host this session. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye, Zam. Bye, Mike.
Bye. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Hi guys, so again, a really engaging talk, do or die. Now, in spite of this grim headline, the future of marketing tech, as what's been discussed, actually looks rosy. And Silmyi did mention the future is now. And with more than 10,000 marketing tech solutions out there globally, even the government is showing more support as they create more flexible policies to increase digitalization. Now, for a more accurate glimpse into the future of marketing, as we've discussed, if we had a crystal ball, all we have to do is look at the world of gaming, because they will pave the way and they are the consumers of the future, right? And underlining all of these is, of course, the importance of data, because it holds the key for us to make informed decisions. And together with marketing tech, again, the future is now, right? And okay, guys, look, if you've stayed, with us so far today, thank you. Guys, stay strong, because next is our closing, and there's a lot of juicy stuff that Manisa will share with you. So do stay on for those awesome insights into our event today. All right, see you up next.